Hey YouTube, how you doing guys? It's been 6 days since I've done a video. Well, it's been 6 days since I released a video anyway. I did make 2 videos. I made one on blanket weed and another one on moving fish, but it was while I was driving around and the weather was pretty crap and it was raining. So all you could hear was my wipers going and it just destroyed the whole video. So it was a good video as well. I was out on the road, had to go and revisit a war memorial in Smethwick that we sort of recommissioned a couple of years ago. It was an absolute ruin. I think it was built in the 80s or the 90s, and it was basically for the Gurkhas from the Great War that basically come to our rescue. So I've got some footage of that, so I'll add that to this video. There's just going to be no voiceover on it because it was blowing a gale and yeah, it was tipping down the rain at one point. So in the video I did give a big massive shout out to my mate Scotty G. Happy birthday mate. Sorry it's a bit late, but it was on the other video. Yeah, so today I've got to go out and well, today was supposed to be a bit of a storm, which I think is coming a bit later on. It's lovely out there now. Well, it's not too bad anyway. So I'm going to take the opportunity. I've got to go and fit a pump for a customer and change a UV bulb, wire the pump in and fit some new hose for it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take you with me. I'll try and film it if I can, and then I can just fast forward it to the mean set. Me falling in the pond probably or something like that. So yeah, I'm going to take you with me. Just have a slurp more coffee. Have a look at this, look. Oh yes. So the headphones are here because when I speak really quiet, that's what it is. That's the truth of it. So I put some music on at the start, and it's like, yeah, rah 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 rah, and then there's me, and then the music, rah rah. So I'm going to try it with the headphones and see if that's any better for you. That's my plan for today. So yeah, stay tuned, enjoy the video. Hopefully, like, subscribe, whatever you do, that sort of thing, and I'll catch you in a bit. Cheers, guys. Hey guys, we're off. You've got the headphones for the volume, so you shouldn't have to keep turning it up. So, the video I made the other day was on about blanket weed. So, spring is in the air, and once you've had it once, it just keeps coming back. So, the main reason why it blooms so much is because of phosphates. So phosphates are basically fish poo. Fish poo turns to phosphates. Uneaten food turns to phosphates. If you've got high phosphates, I keep repeating myself, if you have got high phosphates, the chances are you're going to have green water and algae bloom and blanket weed and all the rest of it. So it's basically runs down to overstocking. If you've got too many fish and you've got to feed them and you're lamping the food in, then there's a good chance that they are going to go up, and then you are going to have problems with your with blanket weed and green water and whatnot. So it is a bit of a nightmare situation, to be honest with you, especially if you've got expensive fish, because blanket weed is it's hard to get rid of, and there's a few options you've got to get rid of it. There's blanket weed treatment, like blanket answer and that sort of stuff, but the problem with that is it contains copper, and copper's highly poisonous to fish. So if you've got to use it, if it's that bad and you can't get rid of it and you need to do something about it, then I'd recommend half a dose. I would never put a full dose of blanket answer in or blanket weed treatment in, because it even says on the label on some of them that it contains copper and that you shouldn't use it with golden morph and stuff like that, because it causes curvature of the spine. So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, really, to be fair. I think that the best option is, if you do get blanket weed, As soon as you start to see it coming, brush it off. Get a brush that's just for your pond, bit of a stiff brush. Now I'm not talking about that lot fuzzy felt stuff. You're always going to have fuzzy felt stuff on the side of your pond because it's where the sunlight penetrates it, and that's good. That's good for your pond. That is, you know, there's like insect larvae in there and all sorts. Now another problem with treating with blanket answer and all the rest of it is you put it on the pond, it sinks, it sticks to the blanket weed. The fish will munch on the blanket weed, you know, so, and then that can cause mouth rot and all sorts of problems. So like I say, there's another way to treat blanket weed is with the iTronic, but again that's got a copper core in. So like customers have asked me to fit iTronics and I've fitted them, and some of them have never had a problem. Like if you do have one, you like literally want to run it at like 1%, 2%, whatever. And that can keep it at bay. It won't generally get rid of it. You have to turn it right up, and then the fish just become lethargic. I've had customers that have lost fish. But then saying again, I've had customers that have got one on the pond and they've never had a problem. So it just really all depends, I suppose. But yeah, what I would say, for safety reasons, if you start to see blanket weed growing in your pond and it starts stringing off, brush it off. Buy a broom just for your pond. Brush it off, let your filter take it out, depending on what filter you've got. If it's quite bad, a drum should take it out, but like once it's all gone, you brush it off, it goes in the pond, your pond looks like poo, and then you know, it'll go down the drains, or your pump will send it to the pond. Hopefully you've got a bottom drain, you know, and then if not, it's just going to clog your pump up. It is a nightmare. It is an absolute nightmare, and it's spring and it's going to start coming. I went to see a friend the other day for a cup of tea, and his pond's full of it, but the thing is his fish have bred, so he's got a load of little baby fish in there, so there's not really a lot you can do. There's not really a lot you can do. You know, we could rake it out, but it's going to be full of the fish, so I'm going to try and leave it until a bit later. We're going to set up a vat and just try and scrape it out, put it into the vat, and then hopefully we can get the baby fish out of it. So but like I say, the best way is buy a broom just for your pond. If you start seeing it stringing across your pond, broom it off, let your filter take it out. If you've got a Nexus, you want to buy some coarse foam and put it around the Eazy, you know, the Eazy in the side, and then just so if that gets blocked up, it's just going to go back to the pond, so you're not going to stop the flow of your pond or anything. But then you can go in and you can clean that off, and you know, twice a day or whatever until it's all gone, and then you can take that coarse foam off. The reason why I say that is because if you get blanket weed inside the media and it's all stringing through the media, it's really difficult to get rid of. I've had some people that have literally just binned all of their mechanical filtration, K1 micro, and start again through blanket weed. So yeah, if you put some coarse foam around the Eazy, that'll stop it. It'll stick to the coarse foam, and then you can clean it off and get rid of it. So that way you're not putting any chemicals in your pond. You know, there's no copper in there. You're not gonna harm your fish or anything like that. So in my opinion, that's the best way. You can buy phosphate remover. I know Awaz. I'm not bigging up Awaz, but I don't know anyone else that does it. You can buy a liquid, but it's more for fish tanks, and it costs you an absolute fortune. We used to use it in the aquariums in the store, just to get rid of algae, because it's obviously very bright in there, and a lot of stock, so you know, you've got high phosphates. You can water change to get rid of the phosphates, but like I say, Awaz do these they're like sort of bags, sacks that go into the filter, and it generally slowly removes phosphates. So that's an idea for it yourself, but in my opinion, the best way to do it is to broom it off. There's no chemicals, it's all natural. If you've got a drum, the drum will take most of it out, but you do tend to get a little bit of it just tumbling away at the bottom. So best to just take a screen out, get it out, put the screen back in, Bob's your uncle, off you go. So yeah, so that's blanket weed dealt with pretty much, I think, and that's in my opinion. You know, you can try and scrape it out, rake it out, whatever you do. I don't recommend the chemicals. I just don't like chemicals in general. So yeah. What else was we talking? Because I made a video the other day and I was driving around, but my wipers were going and they were just screaming, and it ruined the whole video. it was quite a long video as well. So driving around, seeing me punters. So yeah. So hopefully this one's a lot better, and hopefully with the headphones you can hear me a lot better as well. So Just got to watch it down here. It's 30 mile per hour speed limit, and there's always the old camera van. So yeah. Also, I've noticed on Facebook and stuff, there's a lot of chat about moving the fish in the winter, which I think is absolutely the wrong thing to do. And I'll tell you for why. If you've got Japanese koi, you know these things aren't cheap. You could buy a pedigree dog for the price of Japanese koi. Maybe jump him. You can buy, you can buy pedigree dogs for the same price as Japanese koi. So koi don't like cold water. They're not cold water fish, but they can tolerate it. Now, if your pond's heated, 12, 13, 14 degrees, by all means, you can buy your fish and introduce them whenever you like. But if your pond's not heated, which a lot of people are going that way at the moment, simply because they just can't afford to heat the ponds, it's absolutely, electric's gone from 15 pence a kilowatt hour, then it went to 19 pence per kilowatt hour, and that's 30 pence, so it's doubled. So literally your electric bill's going to double, and if you've got a pond, a lot of people just won't be able to afford it. So anyway, getting back to it, moving fish in the winter, they're not cold water fish, they don't like cold temperatures, and they've got their immune system is little or nothing below 10 degrees. So why anyone would want to purchase a fish for 2, 3, 4, 5,000 pounds worth of fish, take it from a shop where the temperature is going to be between 15 and 20 degrees, and introduce it to a pond that's currently at, if it's not heated, your pond's going to be 7, 8 degrees today. That's ground temperature. It changes like 1 degree every week, so pretty much. So the problem is you're going to take this fish, catching it, bagging it, and all that's going to stress the fish out for a start. Then you're moving it in the back of your car, whatever, have it delivered, float it in your pond, let it climatise, blah blah blah. The thing is, that fish is going to get stressed out, and that's going to cause white spot. So you can't treat for white spot below 10 degrees because you can't use formalin below 10 degrees. So you can use malachite green and salt, but why put your fish through that? And it's not just the fish that you've bought that you're putting at risk, it's your whole stock you're putting at risk. And honestly, it's just not worth it. It's absolutely not worth it. So if you go to a shop and they say, it'll be fine, it won't be fine, they're just trying to sell you some fish, you're better off going to a reputable supplier who basically, if you're there and you've got a new pond, or you've lost some fish, you want to add some new fish, or you've got room for more stock, or whatever the reason is, if it's a good supplier, they'll let you basically buy the fish and you can leave it with them until it warms up. So that's the way forward. There's no risk involved there. So you really, you really shouldn't be moving fish when it's cold. Any kind of fish, fish lives matter. If you ask me, my customers' fish come before the customers. They're, at the end of the day, if you encourage somebody to do the wrong stuff to their pond and they lose all the fish, then that's not good. They're going to end up packing up, giving it up, filling the frigging pond in and putting plants in it. So you need good quality advice. So hopefully I'm bringing that to you right now. So I'm almost at my job now. For anyone who watches the mainstream media, they're a bunch of idiots, right? Honestly, I know this is off topic, but all this stuff with Russia and that, they do these tests and runs and stuff every other year, and it is in the news, like every other, that they're doing this training. It's only the fact that Sleepy Joe Let's Go Brandon has completely destroyed the American economy. He needs something to... Wars make money, basically. And old Bojo, he's in the same boat, isn't he, really? Big load of scandal about him. So it's just a big cover-up. I don't believe for 1 second that we're going to go to war with Russia. So for you guys that are worrying out there, the mainstream media is just fear porn. It is literally fear porn. That's all they do. They don't tell you any good news. They don't bring you the real news. All they're trying to do, if they can scare you, they're doing a good job, and they're making loads of money by scaring you. And that's what it's become since the start of this blooming pandemic. They just live on fear. The more they can scare you, the more their ratings go up, which is absolutely ridiculous. So I don't watch any of it. That's the truth of it. I don't watch any of the mainstream news. If you want to get the news, I'll use the internet. I search. I've got worldwide news. I've got news from China, Russia, India, the UK, all over the place. So You just need to take it all in and then make your own mind up of what's actually going on. So if anyone out there is worried, I don't think for a second that we're going to be going to any sort of war. So, right, I'm nearly at my customer's house. I've got to change a pump, wire it in, change the hose, fit a UV bulb. So I'm going to try and film it, but if I don't tell me off, okay? Yeah, and see what you think. And I'll catch you guys in a bit. Cheers! Here we are, guys. So the pond's about 1,200, 1,300 gallons. Got a little waterfall. It's quite pretty, really. Used to have a massive bay filter on it at one point. So I'm here today. I've got to change the pump. It's got a hose lock, which is give up the ghost, but also it's got that old corrugated hose on it, which is pretty rubbish. The bit for the waterfall I've replaced, so we're going to replace that hose. It goes up and round the back, and there's the little beauty, little Eazy pod. So I think this needs a bit of a clean, to be honest. I've turned the power off at the moment because I've got to wire in the new water pump, change the UV. So it's an Evo UV. Not big on these at the moment, I've got to be honest, and I'll tell you for why in another video. So yeah, I might put it on a time lapse. Just fast forward it and show you me shenanigans. So catch you in a bit. The falling should get me some more subscribers. A smaller screwdriver. Right, I'm going to turn this off now because I'm just babbling on a bit. I'm going to get this job done. There you go. I'm going to get this job done, and then I'll film what I've done afterwards and show you all the crap bits. Hey, this is what I like. Look at that. Look at that. That's what you call a good customer, that is. Taking good care of you. Oh, beautiful. Right, just a quick tip. So when you're fitting a new pump, depending on what size hose you're fitting, in this case we're fitting 38mm, which is this one, right, you need to cut these ones off because it's going to restrict the flow. Top tip from Parky. Right, so the new pump's in. You can see because of the reflection of the sky. Right, so Put new pipe in, buried the pipe underneath there. That runs round into the UV, and then it gets from the UV into the filter. So the filter needs a clean. I've just got to change the UV bulb. So recommendation, Phillips bulbs. Second recommendation, not the best. Sorry Evolution Aqua, but I speak as I find. So we just got to swap that over. I need a GoPro and also I can show you all the stuff that I'm doing. Right, so I'm going to swap the bulb in there. Make sure you slide the bulb out straight, because otherwise you break the quartz sleeve. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a video on cleaning this bad boy. So yeah, bear with guys, bear with. Hey guys, hope you're all good and well. So I don't know if this is going to be part of my video from today of replacing a water pump and stuff, but I'm going to show you how to clean an Eazy pod. I know everyone knows how to clean an Eazy pod, but hey ho, here we go. Right, so how do you know when your Eazy pod needs cleaning? Basically, if the water's running through there and down, it's because your media is blocked. So we're going to give this a bit of a clean. So how do we clean it? But first of all, we're going to stick in this little pipe which comes with it. Some little slots go in there. And then we're going to turn the water pump off, which is on there. Oh, and we're going to close this in that valve. I've just knocked the... Look at that, you can tell it's live, can't you? Just knock that off. Right. So now we need the air pump on. There you go. So as you can see, look at that. Look at that. Okay, filthy. So if the water's running over here, that's when you know that the filter needs cleaning. Blub, blub, blub. Right, now this is the most difficult part. This is the most difficult part of the cleaning process. I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to have to turn the camera around. There you go. Cheers, guys. I think I've been blown away today. That's the difficult part, so there you go. Look at that. Okay. So all of that you can see was trapped in that media. Is that good or what? So I'm going to switch it off now. You need to let that aerate for a couple of minutes really. So I'll be back in a flash. Right then. That's been bubbling away for a couple of minutes. You can see it's like getting a lot cleaner at the top now. So I've connected the waste pipe. You can take this off and put it in the shed, do you know, so you don't have to have it all the way around. And it just runs down to the drain down there. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave the air on. We're going to empty it to waste. All that will go down. Still drinking my coffee, guys. Cheers. So once that's emptied, I'm going to fill it up and give it another little whirl, because it was quite dirty, it was. But the old pump had packed up, so it was running really slow. It was an old hose lock. So we fitted a new pump. Changed the UV bulb. Look at that. You know, if anyone's got a pond up to sort of 1,500 gallons, I would recommend an Eazy pod. So this customer used to have a big bay filter. I hope the wind isn't copying this. Used to have a big bay filter, and I took it out and fitted this, and the pond's stunning. It's about 1,200, 1,300 gallons, maybe a little bit more. There you go, look at that. Right, so what we're going to do, we've still got the air on. I'm going to close the waste valve. I'm going to open that. Right, we're going to put some more water in and give it another go, eh? Get that pump back on. And all you got to do when you finish, top the pond up. Okay, it's nice and clean, look. Yeah, so the new pump's Pond Tech, it's made by ORs, it's an 8000. So with the head height of this, it should be pushing, I reckon, about 6,500, 7,000 litres. So we're turning the whole pond over every hour. So we're just filling it back up, we're going to get another go. So if you go to your Eazy pod and you see the water coming through here and down there, it's bypassing the media because your media is dirty. That's the indication to give it a clean. Bubble, bubble. Toilet trouble. Okay, it's still a bit dirty though. Right, now let that bubble away. Right, so I'm going to close that off now. That's the inlet. I pulled my headphones out. Right, so I'm going to let that bubble away for another couple of minutes. And then we're done. Right, there you go. Second clean. We can take that out now. Ooh. Turn off the air pump. Close that valve off. Because they use the air to go to the pond as well. Right, now what I'm going to do, and I'm sure someone's going to go, tap water. But basically, I'm just going to rinse all that crud. See all that crud down there? Well, it is tap water, straight from the hose, but I'm not washing the media with it. I'm just rinsing the bottom. There you go, look at that. Right, brand new. So we're going to let that run out once that's empty. Do a gurgle. There you go. So then close off the waste pipe, open up the inlet pipe, turn on your water pump, and you're done. Happy days. So that is how to clean an Eazy pod. Very easy. Put the lid back on. Job done. There you go, guys. Hey guys, that's one job done. We've got one more job to do. Just a little water test for a customer. It's got the fish are sulking, so I'm going to try and scrap all this rubbish together later when I get home and see if I can make a half decent bit of entertainment for you. Yeah, don't you just love it when your customers, look at that, can't beat cup of soups, can you? Your customer, give me them. I've had 2 coffees, I'm going to need a wee before you know it. Lovely, lovely. I've got some amazing customers. Well, you know, all my customers are friends really because I've known them for so long. We have a good old chinwag. I mean, look at that. I just did that in an hour. Took the old pump out, removed the old pipe work, fitted a new pump, wired it in, new pipe, changed the UV bulb, cleaned the filter. 1 hour. Happy days. Happy for them, happy for me. Everyone's a winner. So yeah. One more job to do, just a bit of a water test, and then I'm on my way home to edit this before Storm Jim Bob hits. Batten down the hatchets, guys. I think it's going to get a bit. Windy. I don't think we're in for all the heavy rain and stuff, but I do believe we're in for a bit of wind. Someone's been eating too many beans, 5 a day. See, I'm just rambling that. Right, I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna carry on. And hopefully this video comes out okay. I'm going to drop that, put in that one for the wall memorial. Hopefully we're going to go and clean that later on this week or early next week. The fountain when you see the video, the fountain, it's about sort of 10 inches bubbling away like a spoodler. It's supposed to go about 20 foot in the air. So yeah, that's on my to-do list. So super guys, hope you have a great day. Thanks all for watching. I've got 35 subscribers, which is amazing. I don't know what, you know, I should change the channel to just Perky rambling on about a load of rubbish. So, but yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'll bring you a few little tips on how to do stuff as we go, as I ramble along my days. So yeah, I'm sorry about the I haven't dropped a video for 6 days. I did film them, but like I say, they were just, all you could hear was me window wipers. So yeah, cool guys, thank you very much, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care, bye bye.